Well, Algeria is the largest Arab country, the largest in the African continent, and the largest around the Mediterranean basin. Whatever happens in Algeria affects different regions, and as a pivot state, whatever, because of its importance militarily, economically, geopolitically, the consequences of whatever happens in Algeria can be felt elsewhere. So, this is one element that we have to keep in mind. And the fact that there was some sort of stability for decades, and now that the mobilization, the social mobilization, has erupted in a peaceful and civic way, is bringing Algeria back after a period of relative irrelevance to the forefront of the international scene, and all the neighbors, close neighbors, or even other regional actors are watching and interested in the evolution of the Algerian mobilization slash transition if it starts. Well, the regional context now is that of, if we look back at 2011 with the Arab awakening, some thought that it was over and that very few success stories could be told, and populations went back to the old paradigm of authoritarian stability. Well, this is a reminder that what's happening in Algeria, also in Sudan, with all the differences, that the status quo is not guaranteed, and that the causes that produced the mobilizations 8 years ago uh, are still present in some of the countries, societies, and economies of the region, with all the differences, and that the social contracts, or if we can call them the authoritarian bargains that existed, are no longer satisfactory or delivering to the populations who are asking for new rules of the game. Good governance are asking for more participatory and representative government. So what we've seen in Algeria since February 22nd are mobilizations in which the population, in a peaceful and civic way across the country, has been asking for certain things. The first one was not to have the old and decrepit President Bouteflika present himself for a fifth mandate. That was achieved, but then the population has reacted to the response or lack of response of the regime, and especially of the armed forces that are now leading this stage openly and not as they used to do in the past, maybe in a way. The population has increased and raised the demands for a removal of the head of the military, Qaid Saleh, and also for a new process that would lead to something different, a new political system, new rules of the game. For the regime, it's an issue of replacement. So President Bouteflika is no longer there. He has to be replaced through elections with another president. For the population, for those millions of Algerians who have been demonstrating and asking openly and freely for changes, it's not an issue of replacement, it's an issue of transition. A transition that would lead to a different republic, to maybe a second Algerian republic that would be accommodate the population and their needs and demands in a better way than what they've seen so far, in a country that is rich, that's full of resources, that is geographically located in a at crossroads, but where populations, the population, the Nigerian population, is not seeing the benefits of keeping the status quo the way it is.